this video lecture we will be discussing the topic of loan amortization. Now if you look at loans, if you take a loan from any place, then usually you have to pay a fixed installment, and you know how long the loan tenure is going to be. So the loan might be for 5 years, so that means you will have to pay equal installments for 5 years if it's a loan. And even the installment is always at an equidistant period. So you might be paying a monthly installment if you have a car loan, or a quarterly installment, or an yearly installment. So that means a loan is basically an example of an annuity. So if that is the case, then we need to see that how is your loan amortized over the years. So how do you pay back your loan? What is the interest component in it? How is the principal paid from it? And eventually how is the complete loan paid out? So for that we're going to look at as an example. So what are the annual payments for a 4-year 4,000 loan if the interest rate is 9% per year? Then the question asks you how much the total amount of interest will be paid against the loan, and third part is make an amortization schedule. So first we're going to do it till the first part over here. So what are the annual payments for a 4-year 4,000 loan if the interest rate is 9% per year? I have already told you that if you look at a loan, all three characteristics of annuity will be over there. A loan will have equal installments, a loan's payment will be equidistant, and you always know when your loan is going to end. So basically loan questions are your annuity questions. Now what are the annual payments? So it's clearly asking you to find out the PMT. So what are the annual payments for a 4-year? Your N is 4,000 loan if the interest rate is 9%. Your R is 9%. So let me just write down the data that we have. So the present value is 4,000, the rate is 9%, the N is 4, and we need to find out the PMT. Now how did we come to the conclusion that the present value is 4,000, that the loan amount is a present value? Because you always take out a loan and then you pay the loan. So if you look at your timeline, I told you before, present value, future value, and we have PMTs in the middle. So only once you take out a loan, you're going to pay the installments for the loan, right? If you do not take out the 4,000 loan, then there will be no installments. So this value, your loan value, is always going to be a present value. It doesn't work this way कि पहले आपने इंस्टॉलमेंट्स पे कर दी फिर लोन की अमाउंट आ रही है. पहले आप लोन लेंगे, उसके बाद उसकी आप इंस्टॉलमेंट्स पे ऑफ करेंगे, and in the future the value of the loan will become 0 because you will have paid off the loan. So we know that the present value is 4,000, the R is 9%, and the N is 4 years. We need to find out the PMT. You already know how to calculate the PMT in these cases. So you're going to use the present value formula. You're going to plug in the values. So the present value is 4,000, the rate was 9%, and the N was 4. I'm going to solve this bracket first. So I'm going to solve it for you so there is no confusion. So let me just go behind. Okay, I can't. So instead of telling you the answer straight away, if you solve this bracket over here, this is coming 3.239719877. Now again you can see I haven't rounded it off. I took the whole value because if you take just 2 decimal places, your PMT will be different. So in annuity questions, I would recommend that you do not round it off. Try to do it directly from your calculators. And if you are not doing it directly, you want to show the step, then take at least 5 to 6 decimal points so that your answer is very close to the original answer. So now this is multiplying over here. On the other side it will go into division. So 4,000 divided by 3.2397 and so on. So PMT 4,000 divided by answer. So your PMT is coming 1234.67. So we have rounded it off to 1235. Your exact PMT is coming 1234.67. This is the equal installment that you will pay every year. So you took out a 4,000 loan, and now for the next 4 years, every year you're going to pay this 1234.67. Now, if we go back to the question, nowhere does it say is it at the end of the year or is the payment at the beginning of the year. So let me make this clear that if your questions does not specify that it's the beginning of the year, by default it will always be the end of the year. Okay, so if your question does not clearly state that the payment is going to be at the beginning of the year, it will be annuity due, you can always assume that it will be ordinary annuity in that case. So if the question is silent about it, assume that it is ordinary. Now moving ahead. So now that we have the installment, you need to understand that your installment, so the each PMT, which means in our case the 1235, it incorporates both the principal payment and the interest payment. So there will be two components in your PMT. The whole 1235 is not going to reduce your loan balance, because in that you also have the component for interest. Interest is something that is paid above your loan. So if you have taken a 4,000 loan, you need to repay that 4,000 plus you need to pay an additional amount for the interest as well. So what is the principal? It is the each payment that will reduce the principal loan balance, and the interest payment is the income of bank against the loan payment. So like I already said, आपने वो 4,000 का लोन तो वापस करना ही है, लेकिन आपने उसके ऊपर इंटरेस्ट भी पे करना है. So you will pay more than 4,000 in reality. So if you want to calculate what is your interest amount, what you can do is you can take your total payment and then minus from it your loan payment. So you will know how much of the amount is going in the form of interest. So the total payment that you will do is you will pay 1235, right? This 1235 is rounded off. So you will pay this 1235 every year for 4 years. So in total you will pay 4940. So you can know your total payment amount by multiplying your PMT, your installment amount, by the number of years. Because the loan is for 4 years, the total amount that you are paying is 4940. And what was the original loan amount? Your original loan was for 4,000. So that means we are going to pay a 940 interest on it. You took out 4,000 and you are paying back 4,940. So that means 940 is an interest amount. It's an additional amount that you are paying for the loan. Now, so the next step is that we have to understand how to make a loan amortization schedule. So this is your format. Over here, the first one has year. So right now it is year 0 and you have just taken out the loan balance. So this is a present value. You just took out your loan. PMT stands for the installment. So this will be 1235 and it's going to remain the same over the years. Interest and principal and loan balance, all of these three values is going to change as you go through the years. So now 1 year has gone by and you have made your first PMT, your first installment. Now what you cannot do is that you cannot reduce this 4,000 directly by this 1235, that okay, with this 4,000 I have paid a loan of 1235 and therefore my remaining balance is this much. You can't do it this way because this PMT has a component of interest in it, and it also has a component of principal of it. Remember, interest is not going to reduce your loan balance. Only the principal amount is going to reduce your loan balance. So this is the amount of loan that you are repaying, and interest is extra amount that you are paying on the interest. It is the expense of taking on the loan. I'm going to remove all of this. That means your PMT has interest and principal in it. Now you need to differentiate. So out of this 1235, what is the interest amount and what is the principal amount, in order to know that with how much is your loan balance going to reduce. In order to get the interest amount, you know that the loan was taken at 9%. Now this is your 4,000. This is your loan amount. So you will pay 9% on it. So if you calculate this, your answer is coming. Okay, why is it not going ahead? So your answer is coming 360. How did this 360 come? I'll repeat this again. 4,000 multiplied by 9%. So 4,000 is your loan and you're going to pay 9% interest on it. So 360 is the interest amount. So now you know that from this 1235, 360 is your principal amount. Your interest amount. So 360 is gone in interest. How much is the amount left that will reduce your principal? In other words, you need to find out your principal amount. So this is your equation. So you can get your principal amount by doing PMT minus interest. It will give you your principal amount. So that is what we're going to do now. Sorry. So the next step is that you're going to subtract these two values to get the principal amount. So now you can see over here it says 874.67. This is because it's done in Excel, and this is actually 1234 point something. So if you want to do it exactly, you can just do 1235 minus 360 as well, then that will be 875. So your installment was 1235, out of which 360 was for your interest, and you are left with 874. So using this 874, you're going to pay off your loan. So you're going to minus this and you get your loan balance. So this 4,000 has been subtracted by this in order to get your loan balance. Now 4,000, say you have paid the loan 875 rupees approximately, you have paid it. So you are left with a loan of 3125. Now you will come on to the second year. So in the second year also you will have a PMT of 1235. Even in the third year your PMT is not going to change. Even in the fourth year your PMT is going to remain the same. But now what's going to happen is this interest. Before you paid 4,000 because your loan was 4,000, but now your loan has reduced to 3125. So the interest is going to be paid at this 3125 now. It's no longer going to be paid at this 4,000 because you have already paid 875. So 875 rupees per loan interest nahi lagega. 3125, which is your leftover loan balance that you still need to pay, you will charge interest on it. So now multiply this by 9%. This is coming to 1.2. Again, you want to know the principal amount. So 1235, out of 1235, 281 is going in the form of interest. Then what is left to reduce your loan balance? What is your principal amount? So minus this, you will get your principal amount. Then 3125 minus 953 is going to give you your 2171.93, and again the interest will be charged on this balance now. So on you can complete it for all of the years. And in the end, your loan balance should be zero, because at the end of the 4th year you will pay off your loan. So this should be zero. If it's not becoming zero, it means you have done some mistake. And another reason why this might not be coming to zero is because of rounding off. So because you have rounded off your amount at each and every place, you might be left with a 2 or a 1 or a very small amount, or even a -2. It's possible because all of your rounding off will accumulate at this last value. So for that, what you're supposed to do is you can adjust that in the last principal amount. If your value of difference is coming very small, because at the end of the year your loan will be paid off. So if it's a rounding off error, what you can do is you can simply equate these two. So if the loan balance left is 1132.73, the last principal paid will also be 1132.73. So your loan balance will be zero in that case. Okay, but if the difference is very large, if it's, let's say, 100 or something, then that is not a rounding off error. It means you have done some mistake. This should be close to zero, or if it's exactly zero, then that's perfect. If you do it on an Excel sheet, it will come exactly zero. So this was your amortization schedule.